Right, my dear students, in this sub lesson we're going to talk about multiplication and division of two or more terms. Okay, now we kind of talked about a little bit with multiplication and division in our previous sub lesson. Alright, let's review that. Let's say, for example, Mr. Mac to give you 3 times m and then times n times n. To express that in a form of a term, what do? I combine them, I multiply them. This is kind of expanded expression. So it'll be 3m. How many m's are there? 1, 2. I put 2. How many n's are there? N, 1, 2. See that? So I kind of expressed in this way. Alright? Now what happens if I to give you like this? 3mn times 2m. See that? Same thing. It's pretty much, you take the number, you multiply with the number. So 3 times 3 is 6. M multiply with m. M times m is, we got 2m, so it'll be m to the second power, or m squared. N got nothing to multiply, you just bring the n back. See that? And that's why you multiply two terms. Now keep in mind, when you multiply and divide, you can combine them by applying the operation. Alright, the respective operation, like multiply, you can combine, divide, you divide. But addition and subtraction, if the terms are not, if the terms are unlike, you cannot combine them, you cannot add them or subtract them. You just rewrite it. If the terms are like, yes, you can combine them and subtract them. What do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, if I got 6x minus 4x, they're like terms. Alright, 6 minus 4 is 2, and bring the x across. So in other words, 6 apples minus 4 apples, it's 2 apples, not 2, am I right? 2 apples. So very important, you're going to bring the x with it. Okay, let's say, for example, even addition, if I got 4y plus 7y, 4 oranges plus 7 oranges makes it 11 oranges. See that? So you got to put the y along with it. Now keep in mind, if they are 3x plus 2y. Now it's a whole different story. These are two different terms. I cannot add them or subtract them, because now you're adding 3 apples with 2 oranges. 3 apples with 2 oranges doesn't combine. You still say, I got 3 apples and 2 oranges. You don't say 5 oranges apples. See that? Or apple oranges. See that? You don't mention that way. You say, I got 3 apples and 2 oranges. Okay, so but when come to multiplication, yes, you can combine them. Okay, so now you got to understand how to do that. Let's say, for example, Mr. Mac to give you 6x squared y times 3xy squared. Alright, so the principle behind for multiplication is the like family. Alright, they multiply. They're very particular. They want to only choose the like, the one identical to it. Okay, the individual unknowns. All right, let's say, for example, 6 and 3 are numbers. They can multiply. 6 times 3 is 18. See, x will look for another x to able to multiply. If there is no, it'll come back by itself. In this case, x got another x to multiply, but look at that, there's a power there. X squared, and then there's an x, there's a 1 right there. You add the power. 2 plus 1 is 3. Keep in mind, when I give you just x, there is a power. If I give you 1, if I give you y, that's the power of 1. If I give you z, what's in the here? That's a 1. You don't show it. Unless it's more than 1, you have to show it. Like say, for example, y to the cube, y to the squared, y to the fourth. See that? All these are powers. Okay? So 2 plus 1 is 3. So let's keep the x curved, okay? Because otherwise we're going to mix it up with the multiplication. All right? Okay, let's put a curved kind of x. All right, there we go. So x to the third. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now what about y and y? Yes, they can multiply, but keep in mind there's a power of 1 and power of 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. Y to the 3. So you got to pay attention to that. Okay, so when you multiply, you add the powers. All right, now look at that, 6 and 3. Now what happens if it's a negative number? Let's say we have negative 5. Let's say m to the third and n to the seventh, and then times with negative 2, and then m to the fourth. Okay, so let's do it. How do we do this? The number multiply with the number. Negative times negative positive. See that? So it becomes positive. 5 times 2 becomes 10. M is looking for another M over there. Ah, I found a match. That means M third times M fourth, M to the 3 powers times the M to the 4th power. You add the power. So it becomes M to the 7. 3 plus 4, 7. N is looking, nope. That means what do? Forget about it? No, we just bring it back the way it is. M to the 7. Alright? Just because it doesn't have that doesn't mean you don't forget it. You bring it back. Alright? You don't want to forget that. Okay, there you go. It becomes positive 10. You don't have to say positive, you're just going to take it out. Okay, it's a 10, M to the 7th, N to the 7th power. Okay, pretty easy, isn't it? Very straightforward. Okay, let's do more. Okay, this is so exciting, isn't it? So let's say 3 over 4 x to the, let's say, 5 power, and then y to the 2 power, and then multiplying with the let's say 5 over 9, and then x, and then y to the 7. How do we do this? Doesn't matter. Fraction times with fraction. Alright? Take them apart. Okay, that's going to help you. Okay, so we're going to put 3 over 4 times 5 over 9. Can I simplify this way? No. What about this way? Yes. I can divide 3 by 3, and I can divide 9 by 3. Very important, the common number has been divided on this side and this side. Okay, that's why I decided with 3 and 3, because 3 can also be divided by 3, 9 also can be divided by 3. So that makes it 1 over 4 times 5 over 3. Now I use the double arrow method. 1 times 5 is 5, 4 times 3 is 12. So that means this one, 12, and then, oh, again Mr. Mac kind of put that one. Let's put the curved x, so that way we can differentiate between this times. Alright, otherwise you're going to think, okay. Alright, x to the 5th power times 2 with x to the what power here? 1. I don't show it, but you know the 1 is there. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So x to the 6th power. What about y and y? Yes, that means they can multiply. The power I add, 2 plus 7 is 9. Y to the 9. Right there. Okay? And that's the multiplication of it. Okay, good. Let Mr. Mac erase the board, and let's talk about the division. Alright, and I'll be back within a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, now let's talk about the division. Now before we go to the division, let's give a principle to it. Let's do this. Add the power method. Add the power for multiplication. Okay, so for multiplication you're going to use the add the power. Okay, we're going to say add the power method. Alright, okay, so that means when you multiply, you add the power. What do I mean by that? Like say for example, Mr. Mac to give you 4x to the 3rd, y, and then times with 3, x to the 5th, and y to the 7th. Alright, so we know 4 times 3 is 12. Alright, we know that's 12. And then x and x, we're multiplying. Add the power method. We're going to add the power when you multiply. Okay, 3 plus 5 is 8. And then y, we're going to multiply. Add the power method. That's what's the number here? 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. There you go. Alright, so we're going to remember this. Whenever we have two terms, we're multiplying and identical unknowns, we're going to add the power. Okay, we're going to use the add the power method. Now, what about when it's divide? We're going to call cancel or subtract. Okay, we're going to call subtract or cancel. Okay, the power method. Okay, I'll explain to you. Okay, now this is for multiplication. All right, and this is for division. Okay, okay, good. All right, let's talk about the division. Okay, how we're going to apply cancel or subtract the power method. All right, let's start with, let's say Mr. Mac to give you 3x, and I'm dividing it with x. Now, if we to use right arrow method, what's right arrow? This is right arrow. See that? It's pointing towards right. Okay, to your right. We can express this in the form of fraction. Read exactly, it says 3x, division is the line, and then x. Look at this, x and x. They have same power, power of 1, power of 1. You can cancel them. It's gone. Once you cancel, it's gone. Alright? Which equals to 3 right there. That's it. That's the answer. All right. Okay. What happens if it's more than 1 power? Let's say, for example, if it's 3x to the 2 power. I'm dividing it with x. Now I'm going to express this in a form of fractions. I'm going to put 3x to the 2 power over x. Now this is actually what it is. 3 times x when I expand it. Am I right? How many x is there on the bottom? 1. How many x on the top? 2. I'm only going to cancel 1 corresponding to the bottom. What is left? 3 times x. 3x. See that? I cancelled out. But there's another way of doing it. What is the number here? 1. And what's the number there? 2. They both are x. 2 minus 1 is 1. See that? You put it as a 1. 3x. Let's do another one. Let's say, for example, Mr. Mac to have, let's say 6x to the 7 divided by 2x to the 5. I want you to read exactly it says by using the right arrow method. What does it say? 6x to the 7 over, the division is over, 2x to the 5. Now, 6 divided by 2, that's what that is. 6 divided by 2, which is what? 3. The 3 belongs to the top, alright? We're going to leave it at the top. Now look at that, x to the 7, x to the 5th. Now are we going to expand that 7 times and 5 times and cancel? No, that would take time. Am I right? 7 minus 5 is what? 2. The bigger number is on the top. Okay, so we're going to take 7 minus 5. That makes it 2 on the top. The balance is a 2. That's the one prevail. Alright, because this is gone. Because I already used it up to subtract out of the 7. And left is 2. 6 divided by 2, give me 3 right there. That's the answer right there. Because I don't want you to do this way, because this is going to take forever. X times x times x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't do that way, alright? That's not the way to do it. Even though we'll still give the right answer. Cancel that, cancel that, cancel that, cancel that, cancel that. Left is what? 6 divided by 2, we know that's going to be 3. Okay? 3. How many x? 1, 2. X times x, x squared. But that's not the way we want to do it. Am I right? We're going to use the subtract, the power method. The cancel only if it's a 1. Alright? That's only 1x, like in this case. You cancel it. Alright? If there's a more than 1 power, alright, use the subtract the power method. That's what Mr. Beck put. Cancel / subtract the power method. Alright? Let's do more. This is more exciting. This is so exciting. Let's do more. Let's say Mr. Beck to give you 5x squared y divided by, let's say, y. And you read exactly it says. So it'll be 5x squared over y. This one becomes over y. Now this y cancels out. Left is what? 5x squared. Now we always talked about y, the denominator always gone. What happened if it's not gone? Let's say Mr. Mac to give you, let's say 5x squared y divided by 15x cubed y squared. So how are we going to do this one? Exactly, we're going to use the right arrow method. Okay, we're going to use the right arrow method. Alright, so let's read exactly it says 5x squared y divide. So we're going to put that 5x squared y. The division we're going to put as a line like this. 15 x cubed y squared. Alright, now look at this. 5 and 15, it's kind of like a fraction. It is a fraction. We're going to simplify them. 5 divided by 5, 15 divided by 5. See that? That's a common number. So that means give you what? 5 divided by 5 gives me 1. 15 divided by 5 gives me 3. See that? Okay, now ask yourself, x squared and y cubed. I can take 2 out of the 3. Now this time I'm taking out of this one. Going that direction. See that? That means left is what? 1 on the bottom. So I'm going to put x because 3 minus 2 is 1. So that's gone. This left. See that? Now look at that. There's a 1 right there. I'm taking 1 out of the 2. The other one was we're going up. Let's say for example like this one right here. Okay, let's take right here. See that? So let's say, for example, look at this one. 6x to the 7 divided by 2x to the 5th. And then when I use the right arrow, I express it this way. And then I simplify. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Now I'm taking 7 minus 5. That gave me 2. I'm taking the 5 out of the 7, the top one. Left is a 2 on this one. And right there. But this time, look at that. I'm taking the 1 out of the 2. And then 2 out of the 3. Left is y1. That's gone, taken out of that. See that? So left is what? 1. This 2 is gone, so which is 1 over 3xy. You don't have to put the 1, 1. Because xy has a power of 1. It's known. Okay? You don't have to show it. Alright? Okay, so let's do another one. Let's say, for example, Mr. Mac, to give you, let's say, 16x squared y to the 4th divided by 4. Let's say x to the 5th y to the 2nd. How do we do this? Right arrow method. Okay, we're going to read exactly it says. Okay, we're going to write this one in the form of fraction. 16x to the squared y to the 4th power. Division is over 4x to the 5th power y to the 2nd power, which is y squared. We're going to simplify. 16 and 4. What's the common number I can divide 16 and 4 with? I can divide 16 by 4. I can divide 4 by 4. Alright, so that gives me 4 over 1. Now look at this. X to the 2nd power, x squared, x to the 5th power. Which one's bigger power wise? The bottom one. That means I'm going to take this 2 and subtract out of the 5 bottom one. That gives me what? 5 minus 3. So I'm going to subtract 5 out of the 2. So 5 minus 2 gives me 3. See that? And that's gone because I took it down and subtract out of that. Now what about this one? Now this one, the denominator is smaller power than the numerator. That means I'm going to go this direction. See, this one I go that direction, that one I go that direction. That means 4 minus 2. Left is y to the 2nd power. See that? Very important, okay? This one coming down, this one going up. Why? Because this power is bigger. Okay? So if I had to expand this, okay, let Mr. Mac erase the board. Let me expand this so I can show you. Okay? I'll be back in a few seconds. So let's expand this, okay? So let's take this one. 16x squared y to the 4th power over 4x to the 5th power and y to the 2nd power. We're going to expand this, alright? So this is 16 times x times x times y times y times y times y. Alright? Over 4 times x times x times x times x 1 2 3 4 times x to the 5th one, alright, and then times y. Alright, now look, we're going to cancel according to the number of x available and number of y available either side. Alright, in this I got 2 x's, this one I got 1 2 3 4 5, but I only can cancel 2. Left is 3. In this one, I got 4y and I only got 2 to cancel with. So I only cancel 2 and left is 2. Now I can simplify this by dividing it by 4, dividing this by 4. That gives me 4, gone, gone, gone. Left is what? Y squared. Okay, y times y is y squared. 4 divided by 4 is 1, gone, gone. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I got 3 left. X to the 3 and y is gone. See that? Now this one you can drop it. You don't have to show it. Alright, now look at this. Same thing, this one you can drop it, you don't have to show it. Same thing, isn't it? But this one takes a lot of time, you gotta expand it. This one quicker. Okay, so in other words, 16 divided by 4 is 4. This one has a smaller power than this one. I'm going to subtract this way. 5 minus 2 is 3. This one is smaller, I'm going to bring it up and subtract. 4 minus 2, 2. See that? When you divide, you can simplify this way by using the cancel, subtract, the power method. Cancel only if it's a one number, okay, one variable, one unknown, okay? Let's say 3x, if you get 4xy, I can cancel like that. Then left is 3 over 4y. See that? Subtract like that. See, we don't have to do this. A long expanding and then cancelling. Okay, it takes a lot of time. This is the Score A Math Victory method. This is how Mr. Max student do, which is you. Alright? Alright, my dear student. Let's Mr. Max erase the board. Let's talk more about this. This is so much fun, isn't it? Alright, I'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, now let's talk about combined operations. In other words, we're going to have a multiplication and division combined with it. Okay, let's do that. It's going to be easy. Okay, let's say for example, Mr. Mac to give you 12x squared y, and then multiplying it with 2y, and then dividing it by 4xy squared. So how do we do? Again, you got multiplication and division. We're going to use the left to right because they both has the priorities on the same level of priority. Because they both shows up on the same problem, you use the left to right. Okay, always left to right. All right, when you have multiplication, division, just like addition and subtraction. All right, so since we don't have anything other than multiplication division, we're going to use the left to right method. Good job. So we're going to solve this first. Okay, we're going to multiply. 12 times 2 is 24. Okay, we got 24. And then x squared, is there another x there? No, I'm just going to bring it back. Now what about y? Y and y. What is the power for y there? 1. When you multiply, you add the power. Add the power method. Okay, so 1 here, 1 here. So we're going to add, will give me y to the second power. Now, so now we're pretty much doing the combination. Okay, the pairing method. Okay, we paired that, we solved it. Now we're going to take to that one, divide. So see that how powerful that pairing method. So we're going to be applying that so often. So I just want you to pay attention. Pair them, solve it. Don't try to do them in one shot. You cannot do it. Okay, just pair them. Finish this one first. Now bring that one down. 4xy squared. Dividing, you're going to read it exactly like a left to right. Okay, left to right. So in other words, with the right arrow method. Okay, we're going to read exactly it says. So it's going to be 24x squared y squared. Division is over 4xy squared. Alright, so now look at that. 24 divided by 4. That means 24 divided by 4. Or what's the common number that 24 and 4 can be divided by? 4 and 4. See that? So which is pretty much 24 divided by 4. What's 24 divided by 4? Very good. It's 6. Now, and you don't have to put 1. 1 just disappears. Okay? Alright? Actually, you don't show it. It doesn't disappear. Just don't show it. Okay? Now look at that. X squared and x. When you divide, you subtract the power. In this case, the top one is bigger, the bottom one is smaller. See that? That means there's a 1 right there. Squared 2 minus 1 is 1. So x to the 1. You don't show that either. Okay? Y squared and y squared. When the powers are same, you just cancel them. Okay? When the power are same, just cancel them. Alright? So left is what? This one is gone. That one is gone because you already divided. This is all gone. Okay? Which pretty much is over this 1 from that one, but it's just you can go away, which is what? 6x right there. Alright, if you want to put the 1, fine, but then back to what? 6x, because 6x over 1 is what? 6x. See that? Let's do another one. Okay, let's say Mr. Mac to give you 16 q and then squared r cube, and then divide that by 4 q to the 4r, and then I'm going to multiply the 2q and then r to the third. So look at that, division comes first and then multiplication. Again, what method we're going to use? Exactly, left to right method. Okay, we're going to solve this one too first, pairing method. So we're going to solve this and then we're going to multiply. We're going to divide first and then we're going to multiply. Okay, let's read this exactly. It says, okay, exactly it says 16 q to the second power and r to the third power, divide is over 4 q to the fourth power and r to the 1 power. Alright, let's go ahead and put the 1. So that way it's going to help us out. Okay, now 16 divided by 4 is what? It's 4. Okay, so 4 q to the second power, q to the fourth power. Alright, which way do I go? Go down or up? you want to bring the 2 down because 4 is bigger. So 4 minus 2. So that means q to the second. See that? Now look at this one. R is 1 and R is 3. I take the 1 up. That means R to the 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. Pretty easy, isn't it? So now we're done with that one. Now I can multiply that with 2qr to the 3rd power. Alright? So now, see, this is pretty much over 1. I can put it as a form of fraction. And I use the double arrow method. 4 times 2 is 8. R to the 2nd power times R to the 3rd power. When you multiply, what do you do to the power? You add the power, okay? Add the power, you multiply. 2 plus 3 is 5, okay? So R2, 5. What about Q? There's no Q to multiply, you bring back. Now look at the bottom. This times that, Q squared times 1 is what? Q squared. Okay? Q to the 2nd power. Now do I leave the answer like this? No, because why? There's a Q and there's a Q. Q in the top and the Q in the bottom. You can still simplify. Alright? So in other words, this is a 1 power and this is a 2 power. That means I'm going to bring this one down and subtract with a 2. So that makes this one 1. See that? So left is what? 8r to the 5th power. This is gone to the down to subtract. Left is what? Q to the 1 power. But you don't have to show 1 right there. That's your final answer. Because that Q to the 1 subtracted with the Q to the 2 gave me Q to the 1. You just bring the R to the 5th power, and the 8. 4 times 2 is 8. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? Very straightforward. You're just combining what you learn in multiplying and division, and you're putting it together, and that's what's combined operation. Let's do more, okay? Let's do a couple more, and then we'll do some hands-on practice. Or shall we just go ahead with the hands-on practice? Pablo, what do you think? Pablo says, he said, let's do hands-on practice. Alright? He says, Mr. Mac, our students are good and they're ready for hands-on practice. Because you're the best. And you deserve the best, and Mr. Mac will only bring the best, and it's coming from the best. Alright, my dear students. Okay, let Mr. Mac erase the board, and then we'll call Pablo out, and we'll have hands-on practice. I'll be back within a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, are you ready for some hands-on practice? Alright, let's call Pablo. Alright, Pablo, come on over. Bring the worksheet, Pablo. Our dear students are ready for some hands-on practice. Yes. Alright, my dear students, Pablo's going to hand over the worksheet. Have fun, alright? Now be sure to pause the video. Alright, after you're done, invite Mr. Mac in, and then we can work together. Alright, here it is. Wow, Pablo's been busy, isn't he? And you've been busy doing all these questions. Awesome, so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Alright, let's do it together, alright? Okay, first one, find the product, okay? So A, 1A, you're given 3m times 2n. So how do we do that? When you multiply, you can combine them, okay? And make sure you multiply the number with number. 3 times 2 is 6. And then m times n is, you just put m, n right next to each other, like that. That's it. You got it? Good job. Okay, let's do B. Now B, now you got negative 5u, and you multiply the negative 4uv. Now this means multiplying, alright? Okay, so there's another way of doing is putting a bracket and putting the number right next to the bracket. That means what they're doing? They're multiplying, alright? Alright, good. Okay, negative and negative makes it positive. 5 times 4 is 20, okay? And then u is looking for another u. Is that? Yep, there is there. That means when you multiply, that's right, you add the powers, all right? There's a 1 right there, 1 there. 1 plus 1, 2. So u to the 2, and then is that a v? Nope, then just bring that v right there. So 20 u squared v, okay? All right, good. Now let's look C. Now C, you're given 12 rst multiply with negative 2rt, all right? All right, so now you look at 12 times 2, but you got negative there. Positive and negative will give you negative, all right? So 12 times 2 is 24. And then r is going to multiply with r. T is going to multiply with t, but there's nothing for s. All right, you're just going to carry it down. Okay, first let's do with the r. R times r is r squared, because you got a 1 right there, 1 right there. You add them. S, that's nothing. I'm just going to bring across. And then t times t is t squared. Very important right there, because the 1 right there, 1 right there. When you multiply, you add the power. See that? You just step by step. You do it one by one, and you will not make a mistake. Okay? Okay, let's do D. Now same thing with D. You got 6x squared y times 4x squared y to the cube. 6 times 4, always multiply the numbers first, okay? 6 times 4 is 24, and then start with x and x. Now look at that, power of 2, power of 2. That means square and square. That means what do you do to the powers? You add the powers. When you multiply, you add the powers, all right? So squared, that means 2 plus 2 is 4. So you put x to the 4th power. What about y? There's a 1 right there, all right? 1 plus 3 is 4. So y to the 4th power, right there. All right, it's very important, okay? Pretty easy, isn't it? Straightforward. When you multiply, you add the powers. When you divide, you subtract the powers, all right? Okay, let's do the next one, which is going to be the division, all right? 2a. Okay, we say find the quotient. That means you're dividing, all right? So you got 16mn divided by 4n. What do? We read exactly it says. Read from left to right. What does it say? 16mn divide. Okay, so we're going to put 16mn. The division becomes over. Our goal is to convert that into form of fraction. Over 4n. Alright, when we divide, what do we do to the power? Either we cancel or subtract. Okay, we're going to cancel the same and we cancel. And then we're going to divide 16 and 4 with a common number. What would be the common number? Divide this by 4, divide this by 4. So that gives me 16 divided by 4 is 4. M, there's nothing to cancel with or subtract with, so I'll bring m back. N is gone, n is gone. 4 divided by 4 is 1. That means 4m right there. That's it. Yeah, good job. All right, B. Let's do B. All right, B says 4st divided by 12s. Again, our goal is to express in the form of fraction. Okay, so we're going to use the right arrow method. Okay, we're going to read exactly it says from left to right. All right, what does it say? 4st division over. See that? You convert that in the form of over. 12s. Alright, s cancel, t got nothing to cancel with. What about 4 and 12? I can divide this by 4, I can divide this by 4. That gives me 4 divided by 4 is 1. Bring the t back, there's nothing to cancel. Over 12 divided by 4 is 4. So I can write this as a 1 over 4t. It's acceptable, you can do that. Or, of course, you can also leave it as a t over 4. Same thing. Alright? You can take the 1 over 4 out and put the t out like that, or 1 times t is t, alright, 1 times 1t is t, which is over 4. Okay, so you can either way, you can express that way also. Alright, good. Alright, let's look problem C. Problem C, you're given 25a squared b divided by 5ab squared. Again, same principle. We're going to use the right arrow method from left to right. We're going to read exactly it says from left to right. 25 a squared b over 5ab squared. 5ab squared. Okay, so now 25 divided by 5, 5. A a squared. That means there's a 1 right there. I'm going to subtract, I'm going to bring the 1 up and subtract out of this 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. The remainder 1 remains on the top. Okay, for the numerator. The denominator is gone. Okay, I took it up. Now same thing with this one. I'm bringing this one down because there's a 1 right there. And this one's 2. This is bigger. I'm going to subtract with the bottom. So b, 2 minus 1 is 1. See that? So now it becomes 5a over b. Okay? Or you can also write this way. 5a over b. Same thing. Alright? Okay? So either way you can write it. Okay, the same thing. Okay? Good. Now let's look problem D. Problem D, you got given 7u squared t divided by 14u cubed t squared. Alright? So we're going to use the right arrow method. Okay, so we're going to read exactly it says. Okay, we're going to take this one, put that as a numerator, 7u squared t. The division becomes over 14u cubed t squared. Alright, now look at that. 7 and 14. I can divide this by 7. I can divide this by 7. So that will give me 1 over 2. Alright, look at this. U squared and u cubed. Which number is bigger? 3 or the 2? Of course 3. I'm going to bring the 2 down and subtract with the 3. Left is what? 1. See that? This is 1 and 2. What do? Bring it down or bring it up? Bring it down because there's a 1. I subtract with the 2. Better, isn't it? Alright? That makes it 2 minus 1, 1. See that? Left is only 1 on the top. Okay? Right there. So you can leave it 1 over 2u t. 1 over 2u t. That's it. You got it? Good job. Okay, good. Pretty easy, isn't it? Straightforward. Just pay attention to the power. Alright? So when you multiply the powers, you add them. When you divide the powers, you subtract them or cancel them if they're same, identical. Alright? So keep in mind, okay? So what I mean by that, let's say for example, if I have 4u cubed over 2u cubed. And then let's say v, and then v squared, alright, like this. See, these two can cancel out. See that? Because they're both identical. Alright? And this one I can subtract. 2 minus 1, it's a 1 right there. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then this 2 minus 1 becomes v1. So it becomes 2v. Alright? Because you don't have to put the 1, just put 2v. This already cancelled out, gone. See that? Alright, good. Alright, let's do problem number 3. Let Mr. Mac erase the board and I'll do problem number 3. And I'll be back. Alright, ready for problem number 3? Simplify, okay? Problem 3a. Okay, let's do that. 3a, you're given negative 4m to the second power n times 3m to the n to the second power divided by 6m to the third power. Okay, so you can express that as a third power or n cubed or n squared. See that? So there's several way of expressing those. Okay, good. Now we're doing a combined operation, a multiplication and division. Now who comes first? Doesn't matter because both has the top priority, both has the priorities. Okay, equal priority. All right, that means since both have equal priority, we're going to use the left to right method. Okay, so we're going to use the left to right method. That means we're going to use a combination method. We're going to use the pairing method, okay, or combination method. We're going to compare this two first, solve it, and then we're going to divide. We're going to multiply. So let's start with this one. Negative 4 times 3, negative 12. M to the squared times m power. Alright, when you multiply, you add them. So m to the third, n to the 1 to n to the 2, 1, 2 becomes 3 right there. Okay, pretty easy, isn't it? We're done that one. Now we're dividing it with that one. Okay, so divide that by 6m n to the cube. So we're going to put negative 12 m to the cube n to the cube. Now we're going to use the right arrow method. We're going to read exactly it says. Our goal is to make this into a fraction. So division becomes over. I'm going to put 6mn to the cube. See that? Okay, now look at that. N to the cube and n to the cube. That cancels out. It's easy. Quickly we can cancel that out. Now look at that, n to the cube and n. That's the power of 1. So we're going to bring it up and subtract with 3. Okay? So before that, let's look at that. 6, 12 and 6. I know Mr. Mac is out of the order. I should start with the number first before I go, okay? Because I'm so excited when I see all these numbers, okay? These variables with big numbers. It's so easy to just cancel them, alright? Okay. Alright, 12 divided by 6 is 2, okay? So it's going to be 2. This has already been cancelled out. Left is m to the cube, m to the 1. We bring the 1 up. 3 minus 1 is 2. So m to the 2. Okay, so because you got 3 here, 1 here, we bring it up, minus with that 3. Alright, so 3 minus 1 is 2. And then negative. Don't forget the negative. Bring the negative out. Okay, pretty easy, isn't it? Straightforward. So don't forget, okay, pay attention to the negative. Ping, remember from previous lesson? When you see a negative, ping, you should see that, alright? Okay, good. Let's do B. Okay, B, you're given 12AB divided by 18AB squared times 6AB. Alright? So, again, we got division and multiplication. So, we're going to use the left to right method. Okay? So, we're going to left to right method. That means we're going to combine this and use the pairing method, and then we're going to multiply with that. So, we're going to solve this first. We're going to divide. So, we're going to read exactly as it says. In other words, we're going to make this into a fraction. So, 12AB over, okay, 18AB squared. Alright, think about number that I can divide 12 and 18 with. Identical number will be 6. I can divide 12 by 6 and 18 by 6. Alright, that will give me 12 divided by 6 is 2, 18 divided by 6 is 3. Now look at that, A and A, I can cancel it out. A is gone. B is power of 1, B power of 2. 1, so I'm going to bring it down. So I'm going to subtract 2 with 1. Gives me 1. That's for the B on the bottom. See that for the denominator. So I'm bringing the numerator B down to the denominator. I'm subtracting. See that? Left is 1. Alright? So I'm done with this. Now I'm going to multiply that with 6AB over 1. Why did I do that? Because it's already in fractions. So good, I put it that one is over 1 as a fraction as well. Alright? So now I can use the double arrow method. 2 times 6 is 12 AB over 3B times 1 is 3B. Alright? It's best to do that, okay? I know, even though we can simplify this way, but Mr. Mac recommend that when you have variable you're dealing with, just express this way. It's easier to simplify. Now, 12 divided by 3 is 4. B and B cancels out. What is left? Okay, because this one we already divide this by 3, divide this by 3. So 12 divided by 3 is 4, 3 divided by 3 is 1. B cancel out, left is A. 4A. Right there. Pretty easy, isn't it? Okay, that's it right there. Okay, good. Let's do C. Okay, C, you're given negative 7ST bracket 4S squared T close bracket over negative 14ST cubed. Okay, so pretty much same thing like this, except this like this, multiply and then divide. See, multiply, this one is multiplying with this, and then you're dividing it. I already made it into a fraction for you. Okay, so we got to multiply first before we can divide. Negative 7 times 4, negative 28. S times S squared, that's a 1 and there's a 2. You add the power, S to the third. T is 1, T is 1. T to the second or squared. Over, we put this back, negative 14 ST to the cube. Negative divided by negative is positive. Very good, positive. You know it's going to be positive. 28 divided by 14. If you double this, it will become 28. That means this one becomes 1, this one is 2. Okay, so we know it's 2 over 1. Alright? S to the cube, S to 1. I bring this one up and subtract. 3 minus 1 is 2. S to the 2. See that? Now I bring this one down because this is bigger, that one's smaller. 3 minus 2. T to the 1. See? Right, because it's a 2, I brought it down to the minus with the 3. That's the left one. 3 minus 2 is 1. So that means 2s squared over t, right there. That's the final answer. You got it? Good job, I'm proud of you. Well done. Wow, that's a challenge one, and you did it. Good job, proud of you. Alright, my dear students, that means it's time for... Look at Pablo. Oh, don't we love Pablo? He's amazing, he's awesome. Alright, my dear students, Pablo just told us it's time for quiz. Yes, it's time for quiz. Let's have fun and do some quiz. Let's have fun and do some quiz and come back as victoriously. Mr. Mac's very bad when singing. I'm only good when I'm in the shower. Nobody can hear except Mr. Mac alone. Plus, even Mr. Mac cannot hear because the water is running so loud. So that's why I can scream and sing and nobody knows. Alright? Alright, my dear students, have fun with the quiz, alright? And then come back and see Mr. Mac on the next sub lesson and we're gonna have fun. Alright? Bye bye.